What's up guys and welcome back to another episode of La Liga Career Mode. This is episode number 3 and today we are returning with changing the position of Sergio Barcia. He is one of our young defenders, 20 years old, changed from right back to centre half. You'll notice I've already changed Rashina's position from RM to CM. He's now in his 30s and technically I think it'd be better being phased through the middle of the park. There you go, right on cue. And also Mila, our young holding mid, I've converted him from DM to CM. I have to say, I love doing this. Like, I really do. Even if it makes very little difference to a player's overall rating, if none at all. I just love to change positions. And, we can all criticise EA for the lack of improvement on career mode over the years. But I have to say, since development plans came into the game, I think it's been a tremendous change. It really has been helpful, and you have to give credit where credit's due. We've been asking for position changes and development plans in training for so long, and since it's been added into the game, yes, it's not perfect, but it's a brilliant step in the right direction from EA, and I love using development plans. It's so great. So position changes there, and they saw Barcia did grow a rating. So heading into today's episode, on the back of the big loss away against Villarreal in the season opener, I thought, okay, alright, we got absolutely thumped in that game and could have conceded even more than 3 goals. So I think we might need a new defender, and I picked up this guy from RB Salzburg. It's Jerome Onguene. I remember a few years ago this guy had really good potential. I don't know what it is now, but he's out of contract at the end of the season. I knew I could get him for under the valuation, which I did. There's not much money to work with here at Granada, so I've got to stretch my pennies wisely between now and the end of the window. And for 2.5 mil, 72 rated, looks pretty solid to be fair. So happy to have him, and hopefully he'll do alright. And also signed a new right back as well. Now, of course, we signed Sugawara in the last episode, our Japanese fullback, who I believe will be our starting right back for all the years we're here with Granada. But as we know, Santiago Arias, the Colombian, is only on loan from Atletico Madrid, so I wanted a young talent to be understudy for Sugawara when Santiago goes back to Diego Simeone. And this guy also has his deal up coming the end of the year. It's Buñuel of Almeria. We are just raiding Almeria right now, but it makes sense to be fair, with Almeria not too far away from Granada, and also with them being a Segunda division side. But Aitor is 23 years old, he's only 70 rated, but again, he's a cheap player, he's a young player, and he could develop alright for the future as well, and that's the key with Granada. It's all about bringing in those young talents, and like for example, in the NBA, when like teams are in rebuild mode, and they just sign a load of, young players, and trade for a load of young players, and pick up some players that are undrafted, or late draft picks, not all of them are going to make it. Many of which will be sent to the G League, many of which won't be in the league in a few years' time. Well, some of which probably won't be in the league in a few years' time. But, it's a numbers game. One of them's going to make it for sure. And that's kind of the key of Granada here. All of the players we signed so far, I can't tell you that, they're probably all not going to be here in 5 years' time. But some of them will, and that's the key. It's a numbers game, really. I'm sure a few of them will turn into really important first-team players. So, for the first game of today's episode, on the back of a humbling opening day 3-0 loss away against Unai Emery's Villarreal, now taking on Valencia in our first home game of the season at the Nuevo Estadio de los Carmenes. Heading into the game here, I thought, okay, alright, it's going to be another tough game, I'm sure of that, but I want a point. And I think this season, if we are going to be a team who does avoid the bottom 3, unlike Granada could do in real life, the home form is going to be really important. We need to make sure that the Estadio de los Carmenes is one of the most toughest places to go in La Liga. I want to make this home a fortress, So heading into the game, it was the worst possible start. First, Maximiano had to bail me out, and then 20 minutes in, Rashina goes down and is forced off. I gave him the captain's armband for the game as well, and he lasted 20 minutes in his new position. Yeah, brilliant. Great start to the game here. And this is exactly what I kind of predicted with Granada. It's going to be tough from day one. So Rashina forced off, and I made a tactical change as well. Obviously, Granada play a 4-1-4-1, but I decided to go 4-4-2. We didn't threaten that much against Villarreal. Had a couple of chances, but really didn't get Baca or Suarez many chances up top. So I brought on Carlos Baca to take off Rafinha. Brought off Carlos Baca, switched to a 4-4-2. And I guess it worked, because 28.5 minutes into the game, we had our first goal of the season. And who got it? Luis Suarez. Oh, you just know. And I talked about it when I extended his contract right at the start of the save. This guy is going to be my saviour in Season 1, I'm sure. First goal of the campaign for our number 9. Beats his man to the ball. Just wanted it more. Turns in the cutback from Darwin. And we do lead half an hour in. Big goal from Luis Suarez. And we do have the lead here at the Nuevo Estadio de los Carmenes. But unfortunately, we couldn't hold on until the break, leading right before half-time. Carlos Soler, who is just an absolutely fabulous talent. This guy is unbelievable. I've signed him before in FIFA career mode, and I'd love to sign him in this save one time down the line as well. He's amazing. He's a jack of all trades type of player. Very creative, great dribbling the ball, and he's got a decent shot on him as well. As you can see, 20 yards from goal, and bangs it past Luis Maximiano, and Valencia are back on level terms. And, you know, to be honest, I felt a little bit frustrated because I hadn't played too badly in the first half. I was a really even first half, to be honest. So in the second half, despite conceding a leveller and a sucker punch right before the break, I thought, I'm going to keep attacking. Yes, I risk conceding goals on the break, but I've looked pretty good in this game, especially going down the flanks. And 7 minutes after the restart, the Colombian bags the brace. Yep, Sugawara, the Japanese international, down that right-hand side. This is why I signed him when I talked about it. To me, he's got RW as a secondary position, and he actually looks better as a right mid / right wing, not a right back. That's why I'm training the defensive work rate up from medium to high, using that development plan to get his defensive stats up. He looks like a great creative player, not quite as good defensively, but going forward, he does prove that he's got a good cross on him. Brilliant ball to the middle. Suarez once again wants it more, gets ahead of his man, smacks it in, and we retake the lead. And late on in the game, oh, how close was this? He had a bit of a shocker away against Villarreal, but he bails me out to ensure we hold on for the win. Luis Maximiano just about tips the header onto the post, pounces on the loose ball, and Granada win on match day 2 in our first game at home as well. I'm absolutely buzzing. I really dominated possession in this game as well. Now, I'll be totally honest here. When I got the second goal through Luis Suarez, I was like, right, pass the ball around and don't give Valencia another sniff. Right towards the end, they got one late one. Our Portuguese number 1 with the save, and there it is, our first win of the season. It does indeed come at the Nuevo Estadio de los Carmenes, and it's a big 3 points, because we know this season we're not going to win that many games. I said it last episode, we're not going to sneak into 4th, no doubt about that, but the home form is going to be crucial. You know, if we can keep a really good record at home, then we always give ourselves a chance. So big win there on match day 2, and I was absolutely buzzing. But a very hard fought one, very hard fought indeed. Maximiano had to bail me out on more than one occasion. We do cling on to the 3 points. You would have seen as well, Rashina dislocated his shoulder, so he'll be out for a couple of months. A bit frustrating because he's one of the few players in this team that has really solid first team quality. Yeah, I think he's 78 overall, so a really decent, technically based player, and you know, now he's done for a couple of months on match day 2. But that's just one of those things, and you know, I mentioned before, I like it. And you know, some of you guys ask me, you know, how do you keep your career modes immersive? How do you keep them realistic? How do you keep them challenging, guys? Big recommendation, improve the injury sliders, you know, because if you keep them both on 50, injury frequency and severity on default rate of 50, you won't get injuries. But right now, my injury frequency, I believe, is on 90 or just under 90, and the injury severity is over 60. Now, I know that sounds abnormally high, but trust me, if anyone here has played career mode for more than 3 months, then you'll know that's about standard to get a standard rate of injuries, because injuries otherwise just simply won't happen. Even so, for our following game and our final one today, our final one before the transfer window is slammed shut, Rayo Vallecano away in Madrid, taking them on away from home. Of course, we signed one of their centre-backs very recently in this game. In this window, and taking them on away, Radamel Falcao gave Vallecano the opener, wearing the number 3. Asamoah Gyan in disguise, who knows, but he gave Rayo Vallecano the lead. But I'll be totally honest, I thought I'd get back on level terms at some point, because I was playing really well. Once again, I was getting a lot of joy down the flanks, and just like in the previous game against Valencia, carbon copy. Sugawara down the right-hand side, using that pace. I brought on Arias to play right back, and what I did is I pushed Sugawara up to right mid. I thought in the Valencia game, based on his creativity and the assist he actually provided for Suarez's game winner. I need to get this guy further forward. Of course, I want this guy to be a defender and a right back naturally as the years go by, but clearly at the moment, defensively, not great, but going forward, very threatening. What a ball to Suarez. Carbon copy, just like for the game winner against Valencia, to put us back on level terms, but the equaliser did not last long. Yeah, Oscar Trejo puts Rayo Vallecano back in front right from kickoff. You know I love scoring those kickoff goals, but they are so frustrating to concede, and once again we trail in Madrid. It's 2-1, but I knew the game wasn't over. We were getting loads of chances, as were Vallecano. It was a really open game. We were getting so much joy down the right-hand side as well. Sugawara was causing so many problems, and he didn't just get the assist for the first goal, but for the second as well. I'll be totally honest, I think I've already found my star creator in this team. Yet rolls it through to Arezzo, the young Uruguayan striker off the bench, and the teenager comes off the sub bench to give us a point. Yeah, final score in Madrid, Rayo Vallecano 2, Granada 2. Really open game this one, could have gone either way. I think the draw was the right result though, and we'll take it. Sugawara with 3 assists in 2 games, you'd love to see it. Suarez with 3 goals in 2 games as well. I've already found my dynamic duo this season, and start the season off 3 games in, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. Pretty much exactly what I expected with Granada. Reasonably tough start, but it's exactly what I want. I don't want to be top. I don't want to be undefeated. I want the challenge, and I know for sure I've got it. But that will end today's episode of La Liga Crema, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for next episode featuring transfer deadline day with just over 2 million in the budget and Barcelona away as well very soon.